Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a good day out there today. Thanks for tuning back in, much appreciated. And today I'm going to have a conversation that I think is probably, I'm going to rate it, I'm going to guess in the top 3 most important elements as far as learning about bass fishing, becoming a better bass angler, and just catching fish in general. And you've heard me talk about it a little bit if you watch the channel, but I've never really gone into the detail that I'm going to go in this video about it. And that's water clarity, understanding water clarity. So I'm going to give you guys a bunch of good secrets, a bunch of juice here that I can promise you is going to help you out in your fishing. So, hey, just real quick before we get started here, just want to remind everybody, if you hadn't had a chance, go check out fishthemoment.com, our lake map breakdowns. Johnny and I are getting a lot of good breakdowns putting up on the website right now. We got personal lake map breakdowns. We got just the in general lake map breakdowns for fall. So go and say, I had to put Sage back in. So check it out, fishthemoment.com. You can check it out there. Okay, guys, let's go into this. Let's dig into this water clarity thing. When you're talking about water clarity, it is everything when it comes to the areas that you're fishing and the techniques that you want to use as far as to catch bass at. And I've always said, if you tell me, it's like you could blindfold me, put me on a plane, fly me anywhere across the United States or anywhere in the world, that matter of fact, that has bass, and set me down and say, Randy, here's the lake that you're fishing. You've never seen this lake before. Here's the water clarity, here's the water temperature, and here's the water level versus above or below normal. That's the only 3 pieces of information that I need to know, specifically water temperature and water clarity. We'll cover water temperature in another video, but specifically water clarity. Water clarity is going to dictate so many things to you guys as far as where you need to be fishing, how deep you need to be fishing, the techniques that you need to use versus what type of banks that you're on or what type of lake that it is. So anyway, I want to give you guys a little bit of a basic of foundation about how I incorporate water clarity into my fishing. And I'm going to break it up real briefly here amongst seasons. Let's talk about the winter months. When I'm talking about winter, we're talking like between, say, the months of December through the end of February. In that particular time of year, I'm hunting the clearest water that I can find in a lake. I mean, that's what I want, because in the wintertime, you're going to find out that in cold temperatures, the bass are going to be more active in the wintertime if the water's clear. They're more keen on sight feeding that time of year. The clear water in the wintertime is going to give you more options. So I'm looking at going to the lower end of the lake or the part of the lake that is absolutely the clearest in there. And I expect to catch fish on a variety of techniques such as jerk baits, swim baits, jigs, Alabama rigs, that type of stuff, looking for that clear water on purpose. Now, as that water begins to warm up a little bit, like in the springtime of the year, like anywhere between March, April, and May, and that type of thing, water clarity also becomes a factor too, but you have a little bit more diversity in the water clarity. Once that water temperature starts to warm up in the spring, there are 3 different type of water clarities that will produce bass for you guys based upon the type of part of the lake that you're fishing. In the springtime of the year, once that water temperature gets above 50 degrees and on up into May, even when it gets above 70 degrees, you're going to have a population of fish to be caught in the real clear water down on the lower end of the lake. The mid part of the lake that usually starts to get a little bit more watercolor in it's going to have some bass in it. And then also the dirtier water, like in the creeks and the upper part of the rivers, is going to start producing as that water temperature warms up too. So there's a gradual progression. It's like in early spring, I'm still hunting that clear water down on the lower end of the lake. As it warms up like in April a little bit, I'm starting to gravitate towards the mid part of the lake a little bit because there's a lot of shallower fish starting to get active in that water clarity. And as you get into May and that water starts to heat up more, the dirtier water starts to open up. And those fish in that dirty water have not bit all year long in that cold water, but they're starting to bite when that water temperature gets above 70 degrees. Start about summer here, same time with summer. In the summertime of year, my options again are a little bit better than winter, but they're not as diverse as they are in the springtime of the year. In the summertime of year, I'm looking for either the clearest water or the dirtiest water that I can find. So, for example, I'm still looking for those fish in the summertime of the year on the lower end of the lake in the clear water, but I'm looking to catch them deep. If you have clear water that time of year in the summertime, you have bass using a lot of different depths. You have them using bottom, you still have some shallow fish, maybe looking for bluegills, and you also have some fish suspended in that clear water. So it gives you a lot of different options in clear water in the summer. I don't do as good in the summertime of the year in the mid part of the lake where the water clarities begin to change a little bit. That's sort of like a dead area for me. I either go down the lake in the clear water, or I'm running way up in the dirtiest water I can find, trying to get the muddiest water that I can find to fish around any shallow target, shallow cover, and that becomes a good option. It's really dirty water where you lose all your visibility becomes really good in the summertime. And then as you get into fall, like we have right now, there's a gradual transition back into the cycle again. It's like the clear water and the dirty water deal is still working in early fall before the water temperatures start to get a little bit dirtier. But as the temperatures start to fall, usually in October, when you start to get some cool nights, that's when I gravitate more back to the mid part of the lake, in that mid-zone water clarity, where it's not the dirtiest, it's not the clearest, it's sort of that mix. You'll find out, guys, in the mid part of the fall and into the very early winter months, that mid part of the lake where you have that good mix, half and half water clarity between the clearest water and the dirtiest water, is one key that works really good. And there's a lot of different stuff we could talk about too, as far as, lure selections, colors, that type of stuff, and different water clarities. But and we'll get into that at later videos. But I basically just wanted to set a foundation of for you guys here, as far as where to look for and what part of the lake that you want to fish in relationship to the water clarity that you have on your lake. So I hope that built us a foundation, and we'll be back in the future. We'll do more videos on how to incorporate water clarity, water temperature, lures, colors, to make this whole puzzle go together, because there's a lot of complexities to it, and it can get intimidating if you haven't had a lot of experience. But I'll do the best I can to try to break it down for you guys and make it where you can catch some fish doing it. So anyway, that's just some good hardcore hogging tip information today. Hope you guys are doing good. Please hit that subscribe and like button if you haven't, and we'll see y'all later.